When this dog saw something moving underwater, he jumped in, and when his owners saw what he carried out of the water, they burst into tears. While growing up, Sam wasn't a pet person. His friends had cats and dogs, and while he enjoyed seeing the beautiful interactions between them, he didn't see himself having a swell time with pets as he did with his video games and construction toys. So his world revolved around these hobbies. But all that changed after his parents gifted him a dog, Max, on his 6th birthday. As soon as Sam carried the dog in his arms, it was him and the dog against the world. With each passing day, their love for each other grew, and they understood each other perfectly. The only time Sam was away from his dog was when he was at school, and even during those times, Max was always top of his mind. Once home, he would find his dog waiting for him at the doorstep, and they would do everything together. Eat, sleep, play video games, and much more. Whenever Sam went into his study room, Max would keep quiet and sit quietly in a corner, waiting for Sam to be done studying so they could resume playing. The little boy loved Max so much that he believed the dog would never die and they would always be together forever. Even when his friends lost their pets, Sam told them that Max was different and the dog would never leave him. Soon enough, he outgrew this notion, but his feelings remained the same. Unfortunately, after 23 years, Max eventually fell sick and he died in Sam's hands. As the dog lived his final moments, Sam told him, "It's okay, you have been a good buddy, you can rest now." After Max's death, Sam realized that he never really had anyone he could call a friend. He was as lonely as a deserted ship. He knew he couldn't continue living his life this way, and as much as he missed Max, he knew it was time to go out and make other friends. Besides, Sam always wanted to try love, dating, and relationships, and perhaps it was finally time to take a leap of faith. Maybe, just maybe, he would be lucky to find true love. Sam decided to give online dating a try, so he created a dating profile, and since he had the looks, many girls were interested in him. He met 2 or 3 of them in person, but they never went beyond the talking stage. The girls didn't just fit into what Sam was looking for. At some point, Sam started wondering if he was the problem. Why did he fall out of love so easily? Why couldn't he even hold a decent conversation with girls? During this period, he was almost forced to believe that there was no such thing as a soulmate, and that maybe, in the end, people just settled for less. But looking at his parents' marriage, he thought otherwise. Even though they weren't perfect, he loved what they shared, and he hoped for something like that. They say beautiful things in life happen when we least expect them, and this was exactly how Sam's love story started. Sam was having a terrible night. It happened that one of the girls he was talking to at the time was driving him nuts, so he went to the bar to down a glass or 2. Once there, he sighted a damsel who looked pretty much like she was in distress. From the look of things, Sam could tell that the girl, Laura, was trying so hard to fight back tears. So he walked up to her. Without introducing himself, he sat beside her and cracked jokes. Although Laura tried to put up a tough front, she was moved by Sam's courage and sense of humor. She eventually opened up to him and told him that her date stood her up and broke up with her over text. So Sam asked Laura if he could be her date, and she agreed. That night, Sam saw a part of himself that had been buried ever since Max's death. He spoke with Laura as if they had been friends for a long time. He felt very relaxed and happy. Soon enough, the two got into a relationship, and it was everything that Sam had dreamed of. They spent hours talking on the phone. They helped each other with work-related projects. Each day, Sam woke up feeling like the luckiest man in the world. Sam knew he could do anything for Laura, but soon he would learn that something important was missing in their relationship, and it would happen after he almost lost someone dear to him. 6 months later, Sam asked Laura to marry him, and 3 months later, they tied the knot on the beach. After the couple returned from their honeymoon, they moved into their dream home. It had everything they wanted: a movie room, a game room, a studio, and a swimming pool. It was their little paradise, and there they had lots of fun, and they created beautiful memories. 3 months later, Laura found a stray pup close to the house, and she brought him home. When Sam saw the dog, he couldn't believe his eyes. The stray, although bruised and scraggly looking, looked exactly like Max. Sam believed that Max came back into his life, so he named the stray dog Max. Max brought so much joy into the couple's life, and they showered him with affection. Little did they know that someday the dog would repay their kindness in a way they could never have imagined. Then, just out of the blue, the couple started having disagreements. And then it got worse and worse. Soon enough, they started going to bed angry. They argued over trivial things. However, their main issue was that they didn't resolve their issues immediately. They would let things stir. Sam always felt he was right, hence Laura should apologize. As for Laura, she started having doubts about Sam's feelings for her because of how he acted. It was just a simple case of misunderstanding, but they never sat down to have a heart-to-heart conversation. It was during this trying period that Laura found out that she was pregnant. Sam tried to be more patient and understanding, but Laura's pregnancy hormones got the best of her, and she looked for the slightest opportunity to provoke Sam. At one point, the couple started thinking they made a big mistake getting married to each other. In due time, Sarah went into labor and gave birth to a baby girl, Lucy. Lucy's arrival brought the couple closer, and for some time, there was some peace and quiet. Unfortunately, some months later, when Lucy started crawling, the arguments started again. This time, it was mostly about house chores and child-raising issues. One bright morning, Sam, who was now fed up with the constant arguments, asked his wife if they could sit by the poolside and address their issues. The conversation started well at first, but then Laura started feeling like Sam was blaming her for everything. So she lost her cool, and what should have been a healthy conversation turned into a fiery argument. The two got up, pointed fingers at each other's faces, and shouted at the top of their voices. Just then, Max started barking, and before they could say anything, Jack, the dog, jumped into the pool. The couple was dumbstruck. Max had never been in the pool before, so what on earth was he doing in there? A few seconds later, they saw Max swimming out of the pool, but it was what he was holding onto that made their lives flash before their eyes. Max was pulling Lucy out of the water by carefully dragging her onesie. Without wasting a second, Sam jumped into the pool and brought the pup and the little girl to safety. Sadly, water had already gotten into Lucy's lungs, so she passed out. The teary couple quickly rushed the girl to the hospital. Luckily, the doctors were able to stabilize her, all thanks to Max, who acted fast before the situation got out of hand. At the hospital, the doctors and nurses scolded the couple for their carefree attitude that almost cost them the life of their child. The couple finally learned their lesson the hard way. They knew they would have never forgiven themselves if anything fatal had happened to their daughter. Sam realized that there are no perfect relationships, and for a marriage to work, both partners have to make huge sacrifices. He finally realized that beautiful relationships don't fall from the sky. Rather, they are built over time by two partners ready to put in the work. Laura also learned that the bedrock for a perfect relationship is patience, forgiveness, and sacrifice. What do you think about the story? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. See you next time.